thought I'll start off by showing you the traditional Harari home in Harar. So this is what it looks like. I've shown it to you before in my vlog from 2 years ago when I was here, but for those that are new to this channel, I thought I'd show it to you again. So I'm wearing like my grandma's scarf because I just woke up, and also just a, we call this a sheet. It's just a wide open dress, basically long dress. Anyway, so it is 8 o'clock in the morning at the moment. I woke up about 2 hours ago, I'd say. Had a shower, everything, about to have breakfast, and then we're going to head out to go to the museum, which my cousin-in-law's family owns. It's a beautiful museum. It's the biggest museum in Harar, so I'll show it to you guys later. But first, let me show you the traditional Harari home. This kind of platformed living area. So we call this nadaba, and there are different kinds. So you have this one here, which is one. You've got that one there, which is one. That one there. This one here, and then this part here. And there's our breakfast waiting for us. So yeah, so there are 5 nadabas basically, and there's the hubby. Hey, how's the shower? The cold shower?
That's amazing. Very refreshing.
Very refreshing. But yeah, so we've got 5 nadabas, and this is where like my grandma chills here. And then when people come in to your house, they sit down over there, over here. You have dinner over there. We have breakfast over here. So it's kind of like multi-purpose essentially. And it's looked like this for the past, I don't know, 20 years, what I've known it to be, at least. Let's see what we have for breakfast. Got some bread. What else do you have? My grandma made us some egg, and ooh, that's the porridge that we had yesterday, I think. And then we've got some mint tea in here. This is the Sherif Museum. So here you can see some really old Qur'ans. This is what they used to look like. Look at this one, look how beautiful this is. It's all handwritten, and this shows you the direction of prayer. You've got the Kaaba right there in the center, and it shows you the direction of prayer. This here is used to trace the lines on the paper for the people to be able to write the Quran using these pens down here. So.
That time the old woman is powerful, stronger than us, because she has strong muscles. This natural pottery for using water, honey, butters. This natural pottery for using butter. These bronze boilers for coffee and kitchen. Clay pot. This is for hair dress, gufta muda. This is for traveling chair. If you want to go everywhere, to fold that. If you want to sit, open it. This is for Harari traditional chairs.
Yeah, this is a room.
This is tomb of Amir Nur, a builder of the wall, the only city's builder. This is Hyena feeding porridge once a year, Ashura. This is once a year, that's every night. This is the background of Harar. If Hyena eats porridge, you call it the future year lucky.
This room, you can see all the paintings of the different Harari traditions, and here you have the people who are, all the Harari people who are famous. And over there, that's it, over there you see my granddad, my dad's dad. Gone. That looks so good. Right now I am walking into the walls of the World Heritage Site, which is Joggle, and it's really busy. There aren't that many cars, but there are loads of Bajaj, and that's kind of the most popular mode of transport. Very loud, probably can't hear me. It's really warm today, really nice and sunny. And we just left my my cousin's house, who lives like outside the walls. Most people that kind of move out and get married move outside the walls, and I'm in the walls at the moment. Very noisy, as you can hear, and it's really pretty, and it's just hustle and bustle. Right now all the shops are closed because it's Eid day 2.
While Amina is entertaining guests
And Miss Working.
and Miss Working, I thought I'd show you guys a little thing that we got from Amina's auntie. It's a sweet corn, barbecue sweet corn, but they're selling it everywhere. Like street vendors selling it everywhere.
Hey everyone, it's another day and I'm just fixing my hijab, so I think I'm going to go for this white one. That's pretty much how I do my everyday hijab style. Just go over like that, and then I either put a pin or I don't really care, just tuck it in. Not too fussed, to be honest. And then yeah, that just stays back there, and then with the rest of it I usually just tuck it in or something like that. Yeah, just make it nice and neat. So it is a new day. I think I've lost count of the day. It's Thursday and it's Dhuhr time, so the guys just went out to pray, and I just thought I'd get changed and get ready for the start of the day. Today's been a lazy morning. We've just been like having a lie-in, helping my grandma out with some kitchen stuff, just chatting to her, reading, yeah, just doing that kind of thing this morning, just because we want to kind of take it a little bit slow, because the next couple of days are going to be a little bit hectic. We basically only have 2 days left in Harar, which is so sad. This week has gone incredibly fast. I've done so much, I've seen so much. I remember everything from when I was last here. Everyone's always asking like, how are you getting around? How are you going to all these family houses? And how are you getting to all these places? And I'm like, I was here 2 years ago, I do remember everything. So yeah, it's been amazing. Everything here has been really good. I you know, I had a lot of people saying to me, don't go to Harar, it's not safe, so and so, and alhamdulillah there hasn't been anything. I go around, I vlog, I, you know, go by myself. There hasn't been anything, alhamdulillah. So far it looks okay, and everything's looking fine. So if you are thinking of going to Harar, then don't be worried, there isn't anything at the moment. Just there's just no internet, which I don't really care too much about, to be honest. And what else was there? Oh, so last night, I didn't vlog, but we went to see the hyenas. So there's something called, so we call, the word for hyenas is waraba. And there's this guy, well, there was a guy who used to be like a hyena whisperer kind of thing. So you would go and feed the hyenas, and like with your hand, with your mouth, the hyenas would climb on your back and everything. He passed away, unfortunately, and he was even in the metro, in the UK metro. He passed away, sadly. His son took over and moved it away from where it originally was to another area. Now that area is a politically divided area, let me just say. So we decided not to go there, and we decided to go to another area, which is not so fought over. I don't want to get political, so I'm not going to start on that kind of stuff. But so what happened was we went there and it started raining a little bit. So the hyenas apparently don't come out in the rain. So they called them and they didn't come out. So we just left and went home. So we're going to try again tonight, and I'll let you know how it goes. And I'll obviously vlog if we get to see them. But I just didn't want to take a camera out. It was quite like going out in the dark. I've never been out in the dark. Usually we get home by Maghrib and that's it. We're just at home chilling, like chatting, you know, having a laugh, wherever. But it was very tense at night. The atmosphere was very different, and I just don't like going out at night, so I didn't want to take my camera out and start recording because I just didn't feel that safe, to be honest. But in the day it's totally fine, just at night it's a bit quiet, and yeah, I just didn't want to take my camera out, and I think that's understandable. But yeah, so that's the plan for today. We're gonna have lunch right now, and then what's the plan? Yeah, go have lunch, go buy some coffee. So I'm going to take you back to the coffee production place that we went to the other day. Go get some coffee for like family, friends, Mohammed's work colleagues, stuff like that. Get some coffee, and then what else? Then come back home, and then we're gonna, yesterday, another thing that we did was to tour the 5 gates. So we looked at the 5 gates one by one, and we like identified them all. So this time we're gonna go and do it again, but we're gonna walk this time. So I'll take you guys and show you all 5 gates. This is today's lunch. We've got some pasta, some meat. This is a fruit called, well, we call it gishta, but it's called custard something. Awesome. And then some Ethiopian bananas. Look at how small these bananas are. They're literally the size of like my hand small. They're very small, and it just shows that how much like genetic modifying we do to our bananas to make them super long and super big and like attractive. But these are the natural organic ones.
No way sweet.
Yeah. And yeah, they're so much sweeter as well. This is so soft. Gosh, feel it? Really. Okay. Inside, you can see the pepper is inside here. I'm about to get beat by that stick over there. Can you smell it?
Smells really good.
Smells good? So that's going to be, we call it asso, but it's also berbere, or I don't know, whether pepper, basically. Pepper, I guess. Well, it's actually grinding quite well. To make pepper, you need to first dry out the peppers in the sun, and I believe it's been drying out for about 3-4 days now. Since I've arrived, there are these peppers drying outside in the sun, and then they proceed to grind them manually, and then I think they go to a specific, oh, phone's rung. Let's see who that is. Hello, assalamu alaikum. So this is hilbat marah. Well, it makes hilbat marah, but it's a seed. So that's what it looks like. It's very, you see, very small kind of round seed. And then what they do is they brown it a little bit. And then they'll grind it. Mayama? Min? Eh, they do that, and then they just brown it. I had no idea how this was done. They brown it like that, cook it, brown it, and then they'll put it in here. And they do the same thing with this one, this is basso. So for those that are Harari, or I don't know who else has it in their culture, but this is called basso, and it's quite a large seed. And if you look at it, it cracks open, so it actually opens up. So what they do is the same thing. So they brown it, and then they hit it with the same thing they were hitting the asso with, and then it goes to the mill and it gets ground and it becomes a nice brown seed. So this is a waraba nadul, which is a hyena like entrance of the wall. So now we're leaving the wall. So this gate is Asumbari, the first gate. We're taking a tour around all 5 gates. So the first gate I just showed you now is Asumbari, and one of my aunties lives close to there. My grandma also lives not too far from there, and that was the gate that you can just see right over there. And now we're walking around. Now this is the wall, as you can see, of Harar, and the UNESCO heritage site of Harar is within the walls inside. So the second gate, and this is what it looks like. This used to be the old hyena feeding spot right here. I remember I did it like a few years ago when I was here, 5 years ago. Right here, you'd come, you'd feed them, take a picture. Yeah, sad that they don't really do it here anymore, but it used to be right here. We are still walking, still within the walls. This is all within, we are kind of inside the walls now. We have reached the 3rd gate, still walking, but now we've come inside the walls. So as you can see, we are within the walls. So as I mentioned earlier, Harar is, can get back in the sun. As I mentioned, Harar is walled, so historically you weren't allowed within the walls unless you were obviously Muslim. Yeah. Oud. Okay. About the Awash, it's kind of like the forefathers who were involved in kind of founding Harar, I guess. So this is a place that you can go inside. Come here and they make dua for you, and you give money and they chew chats, etc. Back outside the wall, as you can see, we are now walking around. We've gone to our third wall now. We've gone to our third gate. We're now heading towards our fourth gate. Here you can see all the farms. So bananas grow here. Ah. What's that? Yeah. It's the fourth gate, and this is actually where my dad was born. For everybody, it's a beautiful gate. Beautiful gate. There are doors within the gate, so you see there's one there and there's one here, and they're essentially police stations. And back in the days, people weren't allowed to come in and out, so they had to be checked by the police that used to live in here. So this Bodorobori is my favourite gate personally. Maybe I'm biased because my dad actually comes from this area. But as you saw, there were two doors on either side, and each gate originally did have those two doors. And the two doors were manned by police, essentially a bit like immigration. Because this was a walled city, people weren't allowed to come in or out. Only those that were from the city were allowed to enter. It was very policed, so people, if you came in, you were taken in by the police and held in those kind of police stations overnight, and then released the next day. But I feel like that is the most preserved gate, and that's my favourite gate personally. This is the Harari flag. So this is the flag of my ethnic group, which is Harari. The Ethiopian flag is for everyone, and then different kind of ethnicity, tribes have their own flag. And that's mine. It's very steep, also very hot. This is the last gate, and the most hectic gate, because it's like a market, there are bajaj, there are things being sold and everything. This is a Bab al-Nas, that's what the gate is called. This is Sadimbari. This is the gate.
محمد دزوي ما فوضى ويا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد نور بيرني يا حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد دد ما رخي يا حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد من يدخل يا حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد أولا لين يا حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد مكة بئيرو حبيبه يا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد مكة بورحو ضويو يا رسول الله محمد ابن عبد الله حبيبي يا رسول الله محمد مكة بورحو عروزيت بلو
عروزيت
Mina?
عروزيت
Amina? Tempted to hyena feed again today, but it's not happening. The same place that we went to didn't have any hyenas, and again, like I said, the place that is guaranteed to have hyenas is not necessarily very safe at the moment. So legend has said that the hyenas were the protectors of the people of Harar. As I showed you today, the wall goes all around the jugal, which is like the inside bit of Harar, the UNESCO heritage site. Now those hyena doors that I showed you, the little hyena holes, they used to come in and protect the city. That there is an agreement between the hyenas and the humans, where the hyenas will not hurt the humans, and so far apparently no one's been killed by any hyenas or hurt by any hyenas. If anything, they're scared of you, so they don't come to areas where it's populated. Are you upset that we didn't get to see any hyenas?
Upset.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Hannah's been so amazing that.
Yeah. It's been so good.
It's not a big deal.
One of the most iconic things to do in Harar is to feed the hyena. If you guys Google hyena feeding in Harar, you'll see they climb on your back. You feed them from your own mouth. So you put a stick in your mouth with meat on it, and they eat the meat from your mouth. So it's pretty iconic. and it's a shame that we weren't able to find them today and yesterday. But hopefully, maybe tomorrow, potentially, I will try to find a YouTube video where someone's feeding hyenas and I'll show you what could have happened. But it's okay. It's better safe than sorry, right? So the plan is for tomorrow. So I am doing like a, well, it was not planned, but my family have arranged like a mini kind of wedding for me with the Harari traditions for me to experience the same traditions that they do here. So we actually got married like, how many months has it been now? Almost a year now, 10 months ago I guess, maybe. Yeah, about 10 months ago. So we definitely don't feel like bride and groom anymore, but we are going to be for the next 2 days. So tomorrow we are doing this thing called Aruz Mawalal, which is where you, the bride dresses up in the traditional clothes and it wears atlas, which is like, you'll see what it is tomorrow, and walks around with her like friend. So you walk around the city and you invite people. So you drop into like 2 or 3 or 4 houses in the area and you invite people, and it's kind of like an invitation basically, and you walk around and you've got your clothing on. You go to iconic kind of places like cultural centers and things like that. You take pictures and that's what you do, and no guys are involved, so it's just a few females. So so yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. That'll be happening in the afternoon, but in the morning we might go and buy some coffee because that didn't happen today because it's closed. So it's still technically Eid is 3 days, right? So it's Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow is the start of the continuation of work. So we should be able to buy some coffee tomorrow. Things should be open again tomorrow, hopefully. And it's Jummah as well tomorrow, so which means we can go and pray at Jummah Masjid, which is the big main mosque here, which we haven't been to yet. So we've been past it a lot, but we haven't actually gone inside it. So hopefully we can go and do that tomorrow. And yeah, and then Saturday is the actual wedding. Well, it's not the wedding, but it's like a few traditional parts of the wedding that we're gonna do. We're gonna squish them all into like one day, one afternoon. So we're gonna do 3 different traditions in one afternoon essentially. So yeah, anyways, time for bed. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
I'm the cameraman for today, so it was hectic. I feel sorry for whoever has to do that as a full-time job.
Dibilangin na. Iya, wala ako. Look how.